Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Bernie here along with Pete.
Yo!
And today, guys, we got another episode of The Charge. Of course, we have to talk about some Cavalier stuff, trade rumors, and all that fun stuff. But I guess the main story that we'll talk about a little bit is this little confrontation, squad versus squad.
We got a little squabble.
Houston versus Clippers. Who's going to win that squad battle? Let's find out on this episode of The Charge.
Hey.
James. LeBron James all the way in.
Here comes Simmons the other way. 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that. Certainly the length altered that shot. Not a good steps.
All right, guys. So, of course, the big story from yesterday wasn't the fact that the Cavs lost to the Warriors, but in fact, it was this little military Napoleon, strategic maneuver by Chris Paul.
Yeah, that was an attack. That was a good plan.
So if you guys don't know, the Clippers and the Rockets played yesterday together in a game. But I guess the storylines, there was a couple. So, of course, there were some skirmishes. One being that apparently Blake Griffin got into it with Mike D'Antoni. And so what happened there was that apparently Blake Griffin elbowed D'Antoni, and D'Antoni got really heated and, F-bombed Blake Griffin, getting himself in a battle between Blake Griffin and Mike D'Antoni. Of course, both of them got a technical. That wasn't really like a big deal, but of course, it kind of is because Blake Griffin is the fake tough guy, in my opinion.
I tend to agree with you.
But the real big part was that we have the coach's son, a.k.a. Austin Rivers, just chirping all his talk to the Trevor Ariza when he was on the baseline three-point line. And basically that just led to the ref just saying, Trevor Ariza, you're out of here. And Blake Griffin tried to defuse the situation, but he made it a little bit worse, so he also got ejected from the game. Mm-hmm. And so after the game happened, the Rockets lost that game, not due to the fact of this fight, but just due to the fact that they were cold shooting and they just really didn't have an answer on defense. Yeah. So this led to kind of what I was talking about, a Napoleon moment where we had Chris Paul devising a plan to get James Harden, Chris Paul, Trevor Ariza to go the back way into the Staples Center, where he knows apparently the way to the Clippers locker room. Meanwhile, Clint Capella and other players were meant to be a distraction.
Yeah.
But I guess what we want to know is if these two teams were to actually fight in a Tournament of Power, Dragon Ball Super,
Who are we taking? Well, first of all, before we jump into the actual fight debate, I find it very interesting to see how intense Chris Paul's hatred for the Clippers is, because that kind of shows how much discontent there was in their locker room.
Yeah.
Like, now we're getting the inside view as to what it really was like, and if this isn't really what it was like, we just know that, like, how unhappy Chris Paul was there.
Yeah.
He's fighting Blake Griffin, Austin Rivers, Doc Rivers, the whole crew. It's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, just thinking about it, it just goes to show you how much animosity there was between all parties involved. Chris Paul saying that this was a dysfunctional organization because you have someone like Doc Rivers who, he hasn't like criticized him a lot, but he has said that he is definitely not the right fit for this team or for that team now that he's on the Rockets, and also just like the animosity and the rumors that we heard that Chris Paul was kind of assist hunting. In terms of he will always want to be involved in a play.
Yeah.
And the only way he could do that is just like assist hunting or just scoring the baskets himself because, to be real, Blake Griffin got injured a lot. And so like it was up to him really to score all the points.
Him and DeAndre Jordan. So that was their whole shtick was Lob City. So
yeah. But now Blake Griffin is the number one guy in the Clippers and we're here now.
I agree.
So like I said, the whole crew, who's winning that battle?
Let's break down. Let's just break down the Clippers really quick, right? Let's just do starting lineups.
Okay.
In a perfect world, Patrick Beverley is the starting point guard for the Clippers right now. So let's just go with what their actual lineup would be. This is the dark alley fight.
Okay. And I got the Rockets on my screen,
right.
so we can talk about it.
Let's say Patrick Beverley is their point guard. He's in this fight. Honestly, he might be the toughest dude on the whole Clippers team. I'm taking Patrick Beverley. All dark alley team.
All dark alley team?
I think he probably is pretty scrappy. Blake Griffin, like you said, I just don't. I can't see it.
I think Ryan Anderson would kick Blake Griffin's ass.
I would honestly probably agree with you. I think I'm taking Ryan Anderson. Lou Williams, I don't know how scrappy Lou Williams is.
Yeah. I mean, if this was James Harden versus... I feel like James Harden wouldn't be that guy in a fight, though.
Dude, did you see that clip of James Harden when he squared up? I gotta show you that clip. Let's keep talking, but there's a clip of James Harden where he was about to get in a fight. It was pretty recently, too, and he squared up real quick.
Other than that, I mean, if we had Chris Paul versus Patrick Beverly, who do you have?
I'm taking Patrick Beverly.
You taking Patrick Beverly?
I think he would kick the shit out of Chris Paul. Honestly.
I mean, if we're doing like a tournament of power style type of thing, I feel Chris Paul would just be the guy that would he would be the Gohan. He would like maneuver some tricks and tips to get so it ends up being like a 2v1 type of situation.
I could see that. Here, check this clip out. James Harden is the video. James Harden squaring up against Mario Chalmers. Real quick.
No, I saw that.
Look, he gets ready real quick. He was ready to fight right there. See, that's why I kind of think James Harden, if you put him in an actual fight scenario, I think he's doing okay. DeAndre Jordan against Clint Capella. It's tough. I feel like I'm taking Clint Capella, though.
I think I'd take DeAndre Jordan. I think he's about that action.
I don't know.
I think he's about it. I mean, I know he's kind of like a comedian type of like funny guy.
Yeah.
But I think he has a serious side to him. I think he could knock out Clint Capella.
That's the thing. I think Clint Capella's kind of like quiet, like scary dude.
Scary dude, like he's
I feel
like he's too quiet.
He's just nice, and he seems like a nice, quiet guy. But he's the guy who volunteered to go knock on the door. You know, he's the frontline guy. So obviously he's got some balls on him because he's willing to jump in there, front of the action. You know the sleeper pick in the whole conversation though. He's hurt right now.
Oh yeah.
Danilo
Gallinari.
I feel like we've seen him fight. He broke his jaw over the summer. Mm-hmm. I just feel like Danilo could
between like Trevor Ariza. You think so?
Trevor Ariza would probably kick the shit out of him. I don't know. See, this is a tough. I think I'm gonna lean with the Houston Rockets. Honestly,
you're gonna lean with the Houston Rockets. I think I'm going to too because I've been saying it for years now that this Clippers team is the whiniest team in the NBA since 2010. It all was led off by Chris Paul, even though he left. And Blake Griffin followed suit in this kind of whiny style of complaining. Yeah. So I think I'm going to tend to agree with you. The Houston Rockets would win this battle. If it was between D'Antoni and Doc Rivers, though, what you got?
I don't think Doc Rivers wants to fight anybody.
No, I think he's like his son, Austin Rivers, kind of like
that's why I'm
chirp in the back.
That's what I was gonna say. Honestly, it's just any team with Austin Rivers. Let's say that it's 5-on-5 and he's their starting shooting guard. They're not winning any fights.
Well, I mean, I think technically he was the starter before he got hurt.
No, I'm saying he would be the starter on the team. So I'm saying
they take an L.
They're taking an L if he's in the starting Dark Alley team. And Doc Rivers, I think. Probably that's kind of where he gets it from. So, I don't know. I'm taking the Houston Rockets, though. But this is it's just like going back to the actual topic and off of our kind of gag there. I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
Well, it's
why are the Clippers like? I don't know. It just seems like everybody hates them so much.
I think it's just the fact that they've been known to be like a whiny team and like, many times they've proclaimed that they should have been, in the NBA Finals or at least in the conference finals.
Yeah.
But, it ended up being that for whatever reason, they just couldn't get past the second round or anything like that. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm obviously assuming that there's going to be fines. Mm-hmm. And they're going to...
Fucking certainly.
There's going to be fines and there's also going to be suspensions. I feel like at least 1 or 2 games for the 3 guys, Chris Paul, James Harden, and Capella and Trevor Ariza for trying to, initiate some beef or some issues. Yeah. When the NBA is trying to clean that up, ever since the Malice in the Palace situation happened, they've been really tight in making sure that nothing escalates to that level. And I think that's the reason why, going back to a topic we've been talking about for, the past couple weeks now, the referee situation, that is why there's so many quick tees now, because they don't want that situation to happen again.
It's just so childish. Yeah. Why can't you just have there's nothing wrong with getting into a little beef on the court, honestly it makes the game more entertaining when people are kind of chirping at each other and they're arguing and, getting a little rough. I enjoy that. Mm-hmm. But when this is the kind of thing that ruins it for the rest of the sport,
Right.
Because this just, like you said, it enhances the amount of tees that people are going to get in actual games just to avoid it in the future. People are going to get ejected from games faster when it looks like this is something that could happen.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. And then it like we both said, it ruins it for the future. It's stupid. Poor choice, Chris Paul.
Yep.
Chris Paul's the ringleader.
I know.
What a clown. All right, let's see. You want to move on to some Cavaliers discussions?
Yeah, let's move on to some Cavaliers discussion.
Woo!